The chocolate bar was, as always, overcrowded. Outside, the November sky hung cloudless and bleak, and students rushed across the quad with hoods pulled low, anonymous to each other. Inside was warm and loud, snippets of conversation floating around me as I sat at the chocolate bar with a mentor of mine. By this time, I had been a freshman at Boston College for about 2 months, and she asked the usual questions about how it had been going. How did I like my roommate? What was I involved with? And what were my favorite things about BC so far? And I, in turn, gave my usual answers, things I had been telling everyone who had asked. But I loved my roommate. My involvements were a lot of fun, and I loved how Linden Lane looked in the fall. It was November, and I was supposed to be fine. Very soon, however, it became clear that I wasn't. As we continued sitting in the chocolate bar, I realized that my mentor was not going to accept these cookie-cutter answers. And as she kept asking questions, I began to realize how truly unhappy I had been at BC for the last 2 months. I had found friends on my floor, but they were not as close or even the same as my friendships from home. I was involved, but for every organization I was in, I had been rejected from 4 others and didn't know why. Just a few days beforehand, I had received my 14th rejection from an organization on campus. I knew where all my classes were, but I felt intense pressure to major in economics or to know what my career path was going to be 4 years from now. It was on this bleak and cloudy November day that I finally allowed myself to feel the discomfort, disappointment, and unhappiness I had suppressed since August 24th. Finally, I allowed myself to doubt the friendships I had been making. Would these last? Finally, I allowed myself to really think about the consistent rejections I had received since September. Why wasn't I being accepted? I had been encouraged to get involved, but now no one was letting me do exactly that. What did this say about me as a person? Why was I failing? And on that cloudy and bleak day in November, in the midst of one of my lowest points in my freshman year, I never could have guessed that I would be standing in front of you today. I never could have predicted that I would finally get accepted into organizations, clubs like For Boston and working as an RA, and just how much meaning these involvements would add to my life. I never could have predicted these things because in November of my freshman year, all I felt was impatience. I could only ask, why was everything taking so long? What was wrong with me that things were not perfect when I wanted them to be? My mentor didn't have an answer, but she gave me this poem that has remained important to me to this day, and that I would like to share with you. Above all, trust in the slow work of God. We are quite naturally impatient in everything, wanting to reach the end without delay. We should like to skip the intermediate stages. We are impatient on being on the way to something unknown, something new. And yet it is the law of all progress that it is made by passing through some stages of instability, and that it may take a very long time. And so it is, I think, with you. Your ideas mature gradually. Let them grow. Let them shape themselves without undue haste. Don't try to force them on as though you could be today with time. That is to say, grace and circumstances acting on your own goodwill will make of you tomorrow. Only God could say what this new spirit gradually forming within you will be. Give our Lord the benefit of believing his hand is the guide leading you, and accept the anxiety of feeling yourself in suspense and incomplete. And when I feel myself getting impatient, when I want things immediately, when the denials and rejections from clubs and jobs seem endless, I remember this poem and I remember to have patience. And then I wait, because now I know that although I cannot predict what meaningful and successful experiences I will have in the future, I know they are coming. Thank you.